It's a big un. Last week, no castaways because I was moving house, so we've actually got two episodes to quickly recap. There's lots to get through. So, we started episode 9, Nightmare Fuel, last week. Sam and Rachel were feeling like Garter endangered species with Andy defecting and turning against them. Rachel had played her shot in the dark to gauge the reactions of everyone else, and that told her that she wasn't the vote, so she kept her idol. Very smart play there. Rachel is taking stock of Andy's blindsiding tendencies, not involving her in the Annika and Sierra votes, but they reconnect and decide to work together again. It's Tree Mail, time to pair up. Now, Kyle has the foresight that paired challenges usually result in a second round going head to head. He chooses Gabe because he reckons he can beat Gabe in round 2 of this challenge. So that's how they pair up. There's 3 rounds, with a final round being 4 individuals going head to head. The first 2 pairs out will lose their vote at Tribal. However, they will take a journey with a chance to earn their vote back before they get there. So Gabe and Kyle, Teeny and Sol, and then Jen and Sue move on, and the others lose their vote. It's on to round 2, and Sue and Jen fall out of this round, leaving those 4 going head to head. With the final round, it's an endurance column challenge, a classic, and everyone lasts really bloody well to the penultimate rung. So it's head to head. Remember, Kyle thought he could beat Gabe, but Tina goes out first, then Sol does. Kyle gets second place. Gabe takes it out, winning immunity and leading all 4 to a nice fancy feast. So the tribe then splits into 3. You've got the 4 going on the journey, you've got the 4 going on the reward and eating loads of great food, and 2 back at camp wondering what the hell everyone else is talking about with all the politics going on. With the journey, it's a old school game, building a tower of cards, and the person to make the tower fall loses, and Caroline misses out. So the rest get their vote back, and Caroline loses her vote at Tribal. Back at camp, everyone is targeting Sam and Sol, and then we get to Tribal Council, and it's a live one. Everyone's going scrambling, and everyone kind of piles on Sol. So ultimately, he gets voted out, with Sol being the only vote for Sue, and he means that Rob is now out of the game. So, Rob, how does that work out for the last 2 seasons? In 46, you finished 10th and 17th, and 45, 15th and 6th. So this is your second best performance out of the last 3 seasons. We also have an interesting statistic with the end of episode 9. We now have 3 players with both of their tribe mates intact: Amanda, Liam, and myself. If we go back to this time last season, episode 9, it was Amanda again and Liam. Now, Amanda ended up finishing 8th and 6th, whilst Liam finished 5th with Maria. We just don't talk about Kenzie, do we, Liam? Yeah. But back in Survivor 45, again it was Amanda who had survived to the end of episode 9. Ultimately, Bruce finished 8th, and Julie actually went out 5th. So there we go. Let's get to the side bet. And with Sol gone, that brings Liam, Shane, and Tyler a step closer to winning $5 each. So we start episode 10, Royal to the Soul. Teeny is on the out, feeling excluded from the Soul Plan. Andy names the episode because that's what he claims he is. He reckons he is loyal to the soil, but really he's playing everyone. And at this point in the episode, before the second commercial break even, there are far too many spiders on screen for my liking. We get to the Sanctuary Reward Challenge. And Jeff says, Survivor 47. That's, do the calculations, a lot of seasons of Survivor. Yeah, Jeff, no shit. It's 47. The clue is in the title. They are the 3 teams. It's a fun challenge, pushing balls across the sand like a worm with their heads. And the fetishists out there in Survivor community got this moment in slow motion already from Andy. So I'm sure that will thrive on Reddit for years to come. Blue gets through the first stage, and ultimately they win. And at the Sanctuary, Kyle states his claim that it's him versus Gabe, but Kyle and Sam are not involving Rachel in the plotting. at camp, Sue is obsessed with Kyle's head being on the chopping block. And then we have a wonderful moment from Teeny, who opens up about their gender identity. And I'm even more in love with them than when I first picked them. Just a wonderful warm moment from Teeny. And then their bag gets totally burnt, which was a shame. We get to the immunity challenge, and it's a ball balance challenge. What is it about you and balls, Jeff? Fair question. Jeff pulls out a classic trick he wants, a trick from his old playbook. For Rice for the Tribe, he wants 4 people to sit out and give up their immunity. And Caroline says, well, what if 2 of us give up our shots in the dark? Jeff thinks, interesting, but no, that's not high enough stakes. So Kyle really goes for it and says, what if you get all the shots in the dark in exchange for Rice? Everyone agrees except for Sam, who then agrees, thanks to Gabe. So they've all given up their shots in the dark in exchange for Rice. And Gabe is chuffed that he's got Sam right where he wants him. So into the challenge itself. Onto the second ball. Everyone gets onto the second ball. And it's Caroline, Andy, Rachel, Jen, and Gabe who go out. And then with the third ball, it's Teeny, Sam, Kyle, and Sue. Teeny, Sam, and Sue, leaving Kyle as the winner. Back at camp, it's Gabe and Jen on the chopping block. And we get into tribal council, and boy, it's a wet one. There is some regret that the shots are gone, particularly from Genevieve, of all people. And Kyle, in the voting booth, struggles to work out who to vote for. But ultimately, the votes all go for Gabe, except for Caroline and Gabe, who vote for Jen. And that's where we finish. So Gabe gets booted out. And with that, we lose Denise from our game, who finishes 14th and 9th. So again, how does that track to the last 2 seasons? Well, last season, Denise finished, well, really badly. First out, and then Randon was medically evacuated to a 16th. However, in Survivor 45, Denise was the first out and the sole survivor, which remains some sort of record. So there we go. Now, how does that affect the side bet? Again, we've lost Gabe, so it's still pretty much anyone's game for that. So, we had a final dedication on screen at the end of the episode to Barb, the biggest Survivor fan of all time. Who was Barb? Well, that was actually Jeff Probst's mum, who died sadly of dementia just 2 weeks ago. Now, we've all been watching Jeff on Survivor for the last 23 years, so as Survivor fans, we're just sending out all our love to him and his family. See you next week for more warm and fuzziness and maybe even a twist, because there is one coming.